Well, hello, fellow Patriots. In a follow-up to our last video where we had Steve Forbes giving a warning to President Javier Milei right after his presidency began, we now have a follow-up video that was just released less than 2 days ago from Steve Forbes again. This video is titled Two Crucial Mistakes That Could Sink Argentina's Javier Milei. I'm interested to see what Steve Forbes has to say about this. Again, they are both economics titans compared to my layman knowledge of the economy, but you know what? I'm really interested to see what Steve has to say as a follow-up to our last video. But before we get started on today's video, I'd like to remind you about a promotion that we have going with the rogue dermatologist, Dr. Yuval Bibi. A lot of you have been asking about the Second Amendment eye chart acrylic print that sits behind me in all of my videos. That print was created by the rogue dermatologist. If you follow the promotional link in the description below, iChart2a.com, it will take you directly to the website. To pick up your own 9x11 rolled poster version of this acrylic print, scroll down, click Add to Cart, click Checkout, and you can see here that the normal retail price for this poster is $20. Enter the promotion code PDPoster, hit Apply, and now you will see that the price is $0. Just cover the cost of shipping and handling. So if you would like to have your very own version of the print that sits behind me, click on that link down in the description and take advantage of this offer today. Don't wait, this is a limited time offer. When the discount is gone, it's gone. Also feel free to pick up any other items while you're there. And now back to today's video. And also while you're there, don't forget to pick up other things as well. There is a t-shirt version of that eye chart that I'm wearing right now, along with many other great patriotic items. So go ahead and check out those as well. So let's get the video pulled up and let's get started.
Why is Argentina's new outspoken pro-capitalist president taking advice from his enemies?
That's actually a really interesting way to start the episode, but that's a really good question. I don't think he should be, because the people that are his enemies are probably trying to let him fail. Do you want to take advice from somebody that wants you to fail? I don't.
Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where
Hi,
you'll
Steve.
get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. Javier Milei, who became president of inflation-racked Argentina barely 6 months ago, is the most colorful, unapologetic advocate of free market economics the world has seen in this century. He boldly, bluntly lectured global political and commercial leaders at their annual gathering in Davos, Switzerland, on the virtues of free enterprise and
If you guys haven't seen that, you need to watch it. I don't care if you watch the original video. I don't care if you watch my reaction, which you can also find at the card at the top. But yeah, he is unashamedly pro-capitalism. And I love every bit of it. And I think Steve is correct when he says that Javier Milei is the most pro-capitalist capitalist that we have seen come out in the public sphere since, my lifetime. I was born in 1983. I don't think I've seen a capitalist as Javier Milei. It's interesting to hear him talk. It's interesting to see what he does. I will be doing a review of his speech at Stanford here in the next week or two, so look forward to that as well.
at their annual gathering in Davos, Switzerland, on the virtues of free enterprise and attacked the consensus there for heavy-handed, ever bigger government.
It was
In
great.
a recent visit to Spain, he roundly roasted the socialist government there. Milei is now visiting high-tech biggies in the U.S. to get them to invest in Argentina. In office, he has lived up to his promise to take a chainsaw to bloated government spending,
Good.
firing tens of thousands of bureaucrats and emasculating just about every program he could legally lay his hands on.
Now, that's interesting. As of 2022, the country has just over 46 million people in it, and there were enough government bureaucrats there to fire tens of thousands of them. That's amazing to me, but also when you look at the amount of bloat in our federal bureaucracy, it's unsustainable. We also need to take a chainsaw to our bureaucracy. So I'm really praying for Argentina, I'm praying for Javier Milei, and I'm hoping that that succeeds because we should emulate it if it does. Our federal system is not supposed to be this big. Our states are supposed to run the majority of the things, and the Constitution sets aside some powers for the federal government. But you know what? Our federal government, and apparently Argentina's, has spent decades and decades just hoovering up power from everywhere it can and centralizing it, like a kid who doesn't want to share his toys. It's not good. So I really do pray for Argentina, and I really do hope that Javier Milei is successful because we really need to follow in his footsteps.
emasculating just about every program he could legally lay his hands on. To the
Good.
astonishment of all, he achieved budget surpluses a few weeks after taking office. But alas, Milei is making two related catastrophic mistakes that will lead to failure. This failure will allow the all too numerous lovers of big, overbearing government to crow, "Free markets don't work. We need more taxes, more spending, more controls, not less."
Ooh.
A Milei flop will set back the cause of liberty, especially in developing, debt-ridden countries that need a model of economic success.
I completely agree.
Milei's fundamental blunder is not following through on his biggest, most important campaign promise of all, ridding the country of its near-worthless peso and replacing it with the U.S. dollar. Two other Latin American nations, Ecuador and El Salvador, successfully junked their currencies for the dollar in the early 2000s.
Interesting. So I know I've been seeing in the comments that some of you in Argentina have been saying that there has not been full dollarization, but a mix of other currencies. I wonder if that's the blunder that he's talking about, the fact that they have not fully dollarized. Now, what other currencies do you guys use? Do you use Bitcoin? Do you guys use the Chinese yuan? Do you guys use your own peso still? Like what is it that y'all are still using for a currency and why do you think Milei is preventing the full dollarization of the economy? Do you think that's actually what you guys want in Argentina? Like, I'm just asking because I'm not there and a lot of my audience is, and I greatly appreciate y'all's support. And I am quite interested in what happens in your country because I'm hoping it's a model for free societies and capitalism moving forward. So just let me know down in the comments. I am really interested, so please let me know what your take is on it.
Ecuador successfully junked their currencies for the dollar in the early 2000s. These dollarizations have been so popular that even leftist governments there haven't reversed them. Instead, Milei and his ministers have been temporizing. Incredibly, he's been playing footsie with the IMF, which is like letting vampires into a blood bank. The IMF for decades has perpetuated anti-free market nostrums like devaluations. Some of his appointments are people who have no sympathy for dollarization. What Milei must understand is that there are two keys for prosperity: a stable currency and low tax rates. Everything else flows from these.
Interesting. So this is also a foible that we saw President Trump make in his first term. President Trump appointed and got a lot of people on his cabinets and elsewhere advising him that we're not good people. He was new to government. He was relying on the advice of people that were already around government, and they gave him very bad advice. And then there was a lot of pro-big government people that snuck their way in and also gave him even worse advice. So it sounds like President Milei may be making one of the same mistakes, and I really hope that's not true. Also, cuddling up with the IMF is a horrible idea. I really hope he's not doing that either. But I really can't say you can rely on our government because our government is doing some real nonsense right now. So I wish I could say that we would be there to help, but I don't know if we're gonna be. I really don't. And I think that's a shame.
Instead, he is continuously devaluing the peso. This is insane. Currency devaluation is the very definition of inflation. He's apparently swallowed the absurdity that a country must undergo deprivation before a stable monetary system can be achieved. This is like refusing to give antibiotics to a patient suffering serious pneumonia until the pneumonia subsides. Dollarization is the antibiotic here. It would quickly kill this hyperinflation. The economy would, within weeks, start to flourish again. This success would give Milei the political capital to achieve his other extensive free market reforms, which are largely being stymied by his political opponents. Instead, Milei has fallen into a deadly trap, his second ghastly mistake, the idea that you must depress an economy to conquer inflation. Milei's austerity has weakened an already deeply troubled economy. The poverty rate is now a sickening 55%.
Yikes.
Opponents say there are not enough dollars to replace the peso. That is nonsense. Thanks to chronic past inflations, Argentinians hold over $200 billion of greenbacks. The experiences
That's a lot.
of Ecuador and El Salvador provide real-world examples on how to proceed quickly. To save his presidency and advance the cause of liberty, Milei must dollarize ASAP.
Okay, that's interesting. And I've also actually started seeing some news articles where the police and other people are starting to resist him a little bit, or join in protests at least. It is interesting that as an economist that he would be making these errors, and I don't know if he would. So I'm interested what you guys think and what you guys are seeing on the ground there in Argentina. Is what Steve Forbes saying true? Or is that just the opinion and the perspective of somebody from the United States very, very far away? I'm interested. Please leave a comment. Let me know. Are things actually going that poorly? Is the value of the Argentinian peso going down that fast? I thought I saw an article not that long ago that the Argentinian peso was one of the best performing currencies in the world. Maybe I misread it, but I don't know. Let's see how Steve wraps this up.
And advance the cause of liberty, Milei must dollarize ASAP. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions, and I look forward to being with you soon again.
Okay, so you can see that Steve has some advice for how President Milei might proceed, which is immediately dollarize. Stop flirting with the IMF, stop devaluing the currency, dollarize ASAP, and then move from there. Also, cut interest rates. Cut interest rates and dollarize. Those are the two things that Steve Forbes says you all need to do. I'm just listening to him. He's much more well-informed when it comes to economics than I am, but what he says makes a lot of sense. I just don't know exactly what's happening on the ground there in Argentina, so please let me know in the comments and we can discuss it. I am very interested. I do pray for y'all. I do hope that everything goes well. I pray for President Milei. I pray for the country of Argentina, and I pray for the United States, because what just happened this week, and you can see the video for that. Also, our legal system is in a lot of trouble. Our country is in a lot of trouble. So please pray for us as well. I look forward to our next video together. Thank you to those of you that made it to the end of the video. I greatly appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like it and leave a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this one on the channel, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon so that you can be notified when I upload additional content. If you have a recommendation for a future video, like the video from the Stanford speech, please make sure you leave it in a comment below, as a lot of the videos on this channel come from viewer recommendations from people just like you. So thank you, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. God bless, and stay safe. Go ahead and check out one of the links on the screen now to either subscribe to the channel and see the rest of the videos of the channel, or one of the carefully selected videos that you may wish to see that YouTube has used its algorithm to select for you.